So we've really spent the last few weeks just talking about structure and talking about how important it is. It doesn't matter what time of the game it is, we want to play a certain way. And obviously, when there's 10 minutes left in the game and you're up 2 goals, again, the players have to feel the moments. But again, I think it really goes back to that. And and after games now, it's really interesting because oftentimes coaches, and I've done this my career, is I'll speak after every game, and we're changing tradition a little bit. Is that the players speak after we win because it's really important for them to hear each other's voice as to what they did um, to get the result we got. Because at the end of the day, they're the ones on the field managing the moments. And I thought they did a fantastic job tonight of staying the course. There was times, where even when we were down, we didn't just lump balls. We sucked them out. We stuck to the game plan, and so again, credit to the guys for really performing well, competing well, and the way they fight for each other is something that you can't manufacture. Right? It's a real group of guys that really enjoy spending time with each other, training down away from the ground, and it just feels like a really good group.
And it seemed like things started to open up quite a bit when you brought on Diego and Andreas there in the second half. What did they bring specifically in the attack? And I guess coming off of national team trips as well, was their confidence just feeling pretty good tonight?
Yeah, no, I think both of them arrived midweek, 7 time zones away, and so again, where we are in the season and the way the guys played in Vancouver, I thought it was a perfect opportunity to give them a bit of a break to come into a game and see it from a different perspective. I thought they both brought great energy. I think positionally they were both really really good. Defensively, they both contributed in moments. Again, I think with younger players, oftentimes the toughest thing for them to learn, and it only comes with experience, is how to manage games the right way. And both of them took on great defensive positions when we were up to 2 goals, which is a big growth, because again, you're not always going to start games, right? And so do you understand how to manage moments that are really important for the group? And both those guys did a great job tonight.
Probably really easy to talk right now about Chiefs hat trick and get to that play. But I want to focus on the two passes that set up and run of play goals from runners in the field. It seems like it was a play where like one person on the field kind of saw sort of the opening that he had or the type of shot he could make. That where does that come from? That I can translate in
Yeah, I think one of the things that we do every week is we really focus in on all the phases of play, and so that final third, given that Chicho was playing more of a 10, um, and the reason why we want our 9 to stretch is because usually one forward will take 2 center backs with him, and then there's soft space in between, and so that pass from our wing back, whether it's the right or left, whether it's Bodie or Petranos, that space is always available. And so, but the difficult thing is, it's one thing to be available; it's another thing to execute the pass with the right type of pace and put it in a position where you can secure it and get a shot off. And so, again, these guys are fantastic players. And in order to score goals, you have to make plays, right? You can't draw up a goal. You need individual talent to put the ball in the back of the net. And I think everyone that contributed on the goals showed their quality tonight. And obviously, Chicho scoring 3. Hopefully, that opens the floodgates moving forward.
we touched on it a little bit, but with guys went down early, did you mention how there's nobody really hanging their head, like plenty of time, kind of mentality. Is that mentality that we talk? I guess I'm using more too.
Yeah,
Is that
no,
mentality that you guys talk about?
it is, and I think where life is more important than words is that we experienced it last weekend, and so we came in at halftime and said, "Listen, we went through this in Colorado where we were down a goal, and everyone lost their way." I said, "You got to trust. You got to trust the structure. You got to trust your teammates to get you the ball in dangerous areas, and then the guys up front just need to execute." And so it was good to have a dress rehearsal last week to then go back this week. And again, the guys after the game said the same things. Right? We stayed the course. We didn't panic. Didn't matter how much time we had. We weren't going to deviate from the game plan. And so again, it's easy from a coaching perspective to say that. It's another thing to feel the pressure of the game and want to break and do your own thing, but to stay the course. And so again, fantastic mentality and resilient mindset from the guys. I couldn't believe it, DJ. As a matter of fact, I thought they were going to take it back because I was like, this can't be real. So it's been that long since we've had a PK, but again, I think and the reason why we want to put balls in dangerous areas in the box because those things happen. And again, credit to the guys on that play. I think it was Emeka and Andreas really combined well deep into their box to force their players to slide, two players to kind of not know where the ball is. So it was a long time coming.
Obviously, the team was dangerous before the subs and then after them. That was the subs and how much conditioning, altitude, and
yeah, I think it's all of that. It's impossible to put your finger on it. Again, I think what you want from players coming into games is to inject some energy into the group. And I thought all the guys that came in did a really, really good job of that. And the other part is, it felt to me like in the first half they were trying to take the air out of the game, and oftentimes what happens is when you do that and then you concede, there's not really a foundation to build from an attacking perspective because you spent so long trying to preserve the lead. And so for us, it's really put your foot on the gas mentality, but do it in a very constructive, collective way. And so again, with all these games, we're learning about ourselves. We want to be a better version of ourselves every game, and I think in the last two games, the guys have really done that.
With the international call-ups, had to use different combinations of players, and maybe not exactly where you visualize using there. How much does this give you thought about what the team looks like going forward?
Yeah, it's obviously that's definitely a silver lining when you're down a few players, and even Bodie tonight played a really good game, and obviously it's not the position that he's been playing, but I think he brings he brings his athleticism, he brings his technique. He got into the dangerous areas quite a few times, in particular in the first half. And so just knowing that when Andres leaves next time, we'll have a good idea as to how we're going to go. And then Chicho in the 10 or Chicho up front. The most important part about that is just getting Chicho the ball in dangerous areas, and he'll take care of the rest. But it does give us a bit of flexibility with the way we go moving forward, especially when the season becomes a little bit more congested. We'll be able to kind of have a better idea as to how we're going to go.
Pablo, congratulations. Victory going on with we've seen Chicho start underneath Julio the last couple of games. Is that a new wrinkle, or is that
No, I think I didn't want to dismiss the Vancouver game. The guys played a fantastic game, and just to say we got everyone back, let's change it. I feel like it's playing God with the culture of the group. These guys played so great on the road, and we got our first road victory of the year. Let's run it back. Let's give these guys an opportunity, because again, when you're talking about competition, that's a big part of not stifling competition, right? We want the guys coming back from international duty to raise the bar, not to just come back to as they were. And so I think that was a big part of it. Obviously, Ando got nicked up today, so we'll see where he's at. But again, I think we feel comfortable putting Chicho up front as a 9, and putting Crooks, Diego, Fidel in the 10. And unfortunately, Fidel took a knock in the middle of the week, because again, if he was available, he would have started tonight.
Do you enjoy playing against physical pressing teams like St. Louis? And is there a little bit of a budding rivalry here with this?
I love playing against it because it's really simple. In that, if you don't match their fight, if you don't win second balls, it goes back to like the most basic aspects of football. If you don't win those battles, you have no chance against these guys. And the team that we want to be is a team that can compete physically with anyone, but then have a bit of sophistication on the ball and dictate how we're going to break teams down. And tonight, I thought we did that. And again, when we were in St. Louis, we had a great game against them as well, and I felt like we won that physical battle as well. Because I think it's one thing to be just a sophisticated team on the ball, but if you don't have that desire to win second balls, if you're not running that midfield, if you're not winning, 50-50s, then depending on the day, you win or lose. I think if you bring that every game, you put yourself in a great position to get results week in and week out.
We go over to Zoom. Andy, go ahead.
Thanks, Dominic. Pablo, is Chicho's hat trick was the first for RSL since Krylock in 2018. I just wanted to know your, but he was just sitting actually in here talking about he was happy about scoring, which he always is, but he was more happy about the mentality the team showed. Just wanted to know your mindset on him just making those strides and having that impactful performance, and also coming against one of the best goalkeepers in the MLS.
Yeah, no, again, I think Chicho's quality really shined through tonight. I think, and oftentimes I say this to attacking players, is when you commit to the defensive side of the ball, the soccer gods reward you with some great, attacking opportunities. And I think he took them. The first goal that he scored is world class. All right, from a tough angle, he hits a real heavy ball against a really really good goalkeeper, and it puts a smile on my face to hear about the mentality, and he said that because I think he's the driving force in everything we do with this group. He's the mental monster during training. He sets the tone on both sides of the ball, and I'm just so happy for him to have the game that he had, because it then represents the rest of the group, and there's a locker room there that will do anything for Chicho. And so when he plays like he did tonight and how he has been playing, I think we're on the cusp of being a really tough team to play against.
Bryson, go ahead.
You already weighed in a little bit on guys going on international duty and coming back. What is the decision in the staff room for those guys coming back and not getting the start?
Again, the one thing is that I believe in everything I say, right? So when I say we're a team, if people go away, and again, if we were in the playoffs and these guys were coming back, it'd be a different story, right? I think given where we are in the season, with the team playing as well as they did against Vancouver, it gives other players an opportunity to step up and continue to raise the bar for everyone else. And I think that's what a team is. It's not relying on any individual. It's knowing that we're going to have injuries, knowing that we're going to have international duties. And when we have when we get to that point, I don't want to sit here in front of you and ever make an excuse about not having our players. And the only way to do that is to stay true to what you believe as a coach, as a staff, and that's the team always comes first. And so this case was, the guys come over on Wednesday and Thursday after 20 some odd hours of travel, and then just put them into the group when they played extremely well. And so if we're going to be successful this year, we're going to have to do it with all hands on deck. There's going to be a lot of midweek games, and this was a great opportunity to give the guys who played really well against Vancouver an opportunity again.
What else for Pablo? Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Pablo, good job.